खबरां दा लेखा जोखा विच आप सब दा स्वागत है।
Khabran Da Lekha Jokha November 15, 2024 has been sponsored by Hanif Litigation. Any criminal or regulatory law matters, contact lawyer Shahid Hanif at Hanif Litigation 604-626-3144. Woman warns others after ailing father's care at Surrey Memorial Hospital. Port Coquitlam woman wants an apology from the Fraser Health Authority over how her sick father has been cared for at Surrey Memorial Hospital. Her story is the latest in a series of reporting detailing cracks in the BC healthcare system. Maria Costain says her 79-year-old father was rushed to Surrey Memorial late last month. He has a number of health issues including chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and advanced lung cancer. He's not supposed to stand unassisted. There was no one to help him, and the call bell was not within his reach at all. And I got up multiple times to ask the nurses questions about him and also to help him, she shared. I went a couple times to ask the nurse to check his vitals. The nurse said she was behind and she would get there when she could get there, but she didn't end up coming. As a single mother of 7, Costain says she wasn't able to be with him right after he was admitted but visited the following day. Costain says she found him alone, struggling to breathe and in desperate need of using the bathroom. Some person who called themselves a one-on-one worker handed me a rolling commode and I had to get him out of the bathroom with a rolling commode. He also fell in the garbage can as we were putting him on the commode. Again, his nurse was nowhere to be found. After that, Costain says she stepped out of the room yelling for help and swore out of frustration. She admits it was wrong to curse but doesn't agree with the staff's reaction. Costain says she pulled out her phone and started recording the chaos in her father's room and claims security arrived. She says she was instructed to delete the footage of her phone but didn't. In the midst of that, she says nurses checked on her father. They put the sensor on him that checks your oxygen level. His oxygen was 70, not in the 70s. It was at 70. And all that guy was carrying on about in the hallway was that I swore, she explained. Costain understands healthcare workers are overworked and burnt out and knows she was wrong for swearing, but stresses she was swearing at a staff member out of frustration. In the days following, she says she received a call from Fraser Health who told her they would reach out to ER manager the night her father arrived. By November, Costain says staff told her there was a specialist at St. Paul's Hospital who could perform surgery on her father to help him breathe. He was transferred on November 6th and remains there. After she says she was told there was no expert and the surgery was too dangerous given his end-of-life state. She is now trying to get him back to Surrey Memorial. In a brief statement, Fraser Health stopped short of issuing an apology and says Surrey Memorial Hospital site leadership has been in direct and ongoing contact with the family. Additionally, our patient care quality office has also been in contact with the family to support them.
सरी ਮੈਮੋਰੀਅਲ ਵਿਖੇ ਆਪਣੇ 79 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਵਾਪਰਿਆ ਜੋ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਵਿਖਿਆਨ ਕੁਕਟਲਮ ਦੀ ਇੱਕ ਔਰਤ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਉਹ 7 ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਮਾਂ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਦਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾ ਸਕੀ ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਿਨ ਗਈ ਤਾਂ ਉਸ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਦੀ ਬੁਰੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਦੇਖੀ ਔਰ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀਆਂ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਦੂਰ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਵਾਸ਼ਰੂਮ ਜਾਣਾ ਲੜਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਪਰ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਔਰ ਨਰਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਏਗੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕਰ ਸਕਾਂਗੀ। ਕੈਂਸਰ ਦੀ ਲਾਸਟ ਸਟੇਜ ਚੌਥੀ ਸਟੇਜ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਣੀ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਜੂਝ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਉਸਦੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਉਸਦੇ ਇਲਾਜ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਉਸਦੇ ਆਪਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸੇਂਟ ਪਾਲ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ ਪਰ ਉਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਵਾਬ ਦੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਉਸਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਰਜਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਭਾਰੀ ਪੈ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਉਸਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਪਸ ਸਰੀ ਮੈਮੋਰੀਅਲ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਿਆਉਣ ਦੀਆਂ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਮੁਤਲਕ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਵਿਭਾਗ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਰਗੁਜ਼ਾਰੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਪੁਸ਼ਟੀਕਰਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਮੈਮੋਰੀਅਲ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੰਬੰਧਿਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਭਾਈਚਾਰਾ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਰਗ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਮਦਦ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਲਾਹ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ।
Canada Post workers on strike. Here's what you need to know about your mail. Workers at Canada Post went on strike Friday in a move that is expected to create delays and other disruptions to mail and parcel delivery, just as the Crown Corporation prepares for what's typically its busiest period. The Canadian Union of Postal Workers say it came to the decision after a year of bargaining with little progress. Meanwhile, Canada Post says it's disappointed with the decision, which will have a significant and immediate impact on millions of Canadian small businesses and charities who count on Canada Post during the busy holiday season. Customers should expect delays in mail and parcel delivery. Mail and parcels will not be processed or delivered for the duration of the national strike, and some post office will be closed. Service guarantees will be impacted for items already in the postal network. Canada Post spokesperson Lisa Liu said in a statement Friday morning. However, a national strike of any length will impact service to Canadians well after the strike activity ends. Processing and delivery may take some time to fully return to normal. Canada Post says no new items will be accepted until the national disruption is over. As the busy holiday season gets underway, Jim Bookbinder, a management science professor at the University of Waterloo, says it's an important piece of mail such as Christmas gift. Sending item via an alternative courier service could be worth considering. For small businesses, using courier services other than Canada Post could bring certainty in getting their items to customers, but it will be more expensive. Bookbinder said retailers who are mailing parcels will likely pay 30 to 40% more on shipping if they consider alternatives such as FedEx or UPS. Customers might be holding back from shopping online, with small businesses fearing it won't arrive on time for the holidays. Corinne Pullman, Executive Vice President of Advocacy at the Canadian Federation of Independent Business, said in a statement leading up to the strike, but she said not to let the Canada Post strike sway you. Most small businesses are very resilient and pretty innovative, and they will find ways to get you any products that you need, whether it be delivering it themselves, she said. We see a lot of small businesses do that, or using alternative couriers to get you what you need. Canada Post said the union have agreed to continue delivering government benefit checks such as the Canada Child Benefit, Old Age Security, and Canada Pension Plan. During the labor disruption, it said seniors and others who rely on the mail service will receive timely financial assistance. All checks for November are set to be delivered on November 20th. Service Canada has urged Canadians to set up online accounts and direct deposits to receive their benefits without delays. Several Canadian banks are urging customers to switch to online statements and e-banking to stay on top of their statements, bills, and other banking communications. For example, CIBC said customers are required to make regular payments and meet financial obligations on credit cards, loans, and mortgages, even if the postal disruption happens. Other banks, including Bank of Montreal and Scotiabank, have issued similar statements.
ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਪੋਸਟ ਦੀ ਸਟ੍ਰਾਈਕ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਸ 'ਤੇ ਪੈ ਰਹੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸਰ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਪੂਰੇ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ। ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਹ ਵਰਕਰਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਸਟ੍ਰਾਈਕ ਆ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਕਿਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਇਸ ਹੌਲੀਡੇ ਸੀਜ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਚਿੱਠੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਰਸਲਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਸਰ ਪੈ ਸਕਦਾ। ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕੁਝ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੱਡੀ ਮਾਤਰਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਰਕ ਪਿਆ ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਜ਼ਿਕਰ ਵੀ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਹੋਇਆ, ਪਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਖੁਲਾਸਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਪਾਰੀ ਵਰਗ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਲਟਰਨੇਟਿਵ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੋਰ ਢੰਗ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਗਾਹਕਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਸਮਾਨ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਉਣ ਦੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਸੇਵਨ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੈ। ਯਾਦ ਰਹੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਪੋਸਟ ਦੇ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਸਪਸ਼ਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਸਟ੍ਰਾਈਕ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਬਾਵਜੂਦ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਸਹਾਇਤਾ ਵਾਲੇ ਚੈੱਕਸ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹ ਚਾਈਲਡ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟਸ ਦੇ ਨੇ, ਚਾਹੇ ਏਜ ਓਲਡ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਸ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਉਹ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਲਾਇੰਟਸ ਤੱਕ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਕਰਨਗੇ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੈਂਕਿੰਗ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਮੁੱਖ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰੋ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਦੀ ਪੋਸਟਲ ਡਿਸਟਰਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਤੁਹਾਡੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸਟੇਟਮੈਂਟਸ ਦੇ ਨਾ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਦੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਿੱਲ ਦੀ ਪੇਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਉਹ ਲੇਟ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਕਈ ਬੈਂਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਗਾਹਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਲਈ ਸਪਸ਼ਟ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੇਮੈਂਟ ਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਤਰਜੀਹ ਦੇਣ।
Indigenous teen forcibly restrained, racially profiled at Surrey Mall, says family. The father of an Indigenous teenager is speaking out after his daughter was restrained by security guards in what he says is a clear case of racial profiling. Sino General says his 16-year-old daughter was with two friends at Guildford Town Centre in Surrey Tuesday evening when security guards singled her out, accused her of stealing and wrestled her to the ground. They looked in her bag and pointed her out. You are the one stealing. You are stealing in Victoria's Secret. That's where it's frustrating because when she offered her bag and opened it like, look, I ain't got nothing, they still tackled her, he said. Video obtained by Generals says the daughter being surrounded by several Paladin security guards and forced to the ground. One of the guards appears to put a knee on her. Only thing she could do was scream out of frustration because she had so many people holding her and just very upset. Even in the car ride back, she was very upset. She wasn't happy with the way she was treated. Just wanted justice or something. She didn't know what else to do. She never experienced this before, General said. It's a new element to her life that isn't very good. Is she going to go to any mall now and feel safe to shop? Or is she going to get tackled anytime she walks around somewhere? General's co-worker Daniel Dunlop, an Indigenous woman, says she felt emotional watching what happened to his daughter because similar things have happened to her and other Indigenous people. This is happening a lot to the Indigenous brothers and sisters out there, and it's not right, Dunlop said. Paladin Security President Chad Kalak says in a statement that it's aware of the incident and is working with Surrey Police on the events leading up to what's seen in the video, adding it's conducting an internal investigation to ensure the team's response aligns with the company's procedural expectations and training standards. The Surrey RCMP said in a statement that they responded to a report of an assault on a security guard just before 9 p.m. on Tuesday. Police was advised that the suspect female was being detained by the mall security. Our officer attended and arrested the suspect female for assault, the RCMP said in a statement. According to the mall security, the female allegedly spat towards the security guard and was subsequently detained. The suspect, who is a youth, was released at scene to their guardian. Guildford Town Centre has not responded to request for comment. General says he plans to pursue the matter further. We want to go through, get a lawyer, get a team, hold them accountable, he said, civil, criminally, if we can get the charges.
ਗਿਲਫੋਰਡ ਟਾਊਨ ਵਿਖੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੂਲ ਨਿਵਾਸੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਦੀ ਟੀਨ ਏਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲੜਕੀ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਕਿਉਰਿਟੀ ਗਾਰਡਸ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਚੋਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਸ਼ੱਕ ਹੇਠਾਂ किस प्रकार उसके नाल व्यवहार किया गया उसका चर्चा जिहड़ा सारे पासे है। और उसके पिता ने टीनेजर लड़की के पिता ने कहा कि उसकी बेटी नूं उहदे नस्ल के आधार के उत्ते टारगेट किया गया। दस्सिया यह भी जा रहा कि किस प्रकार जिहड़े सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स ने उन्होंने कई जने ने मिल के उसनूं टैकल किया और एक ने उसके उपर जिहड़े गोडा है वह भी रखा। और इस दे नाल नाल उन्होंने इस गल का भी जिक्र क्लीयर किया कि यह किसी भी तरीके नाल सही नहीं है। लड़की के पुछण तो दस्सिया गया कि तू चोरी करदी आ तो उसने ये भी गल कही कि तुसी मेरा झोला देख लो उस दे विच भी कुछ नहीं है, पर फिर भी उसकी सड़वाई नहीं हुई बल्कि कई सिक्योरिटी गार्ड्स ने उसनूं काबू करके रखा। मौके के उत्ते सरी पुलिस सर्विस नूं भी बुलाया गया और हुण इसके पिता का कहना है कि वह इस कारगुजारी नूं अगाह लैके चलेगा जिस दे विच कि समाजिक तौर के उत्ते क्रिमिनल जिहड़ा एक्शन आ उस दे संबंध दे विच ओह जवाब चाहुंदा है।
What to know about bird flu, poultry and dairy farms? People have been hearing a lot about H5N1 bird flu or highly pathogenic avian influenza since a BC teen became the first human to get the virus in Canada and is in hospital. It's not yet known how the teen got infected, but Dr. Theresa Tam, Canada's Chief Public Health Officer, said on Wednesday that genomic sequencing shows they have a strain of H5N1 similar to the strains found in poultry farm outbreaks in British Columbia. More than 20 locations with infected poultry have been identified in the province since the beginning of October, according to a news release posted recently on the BC government website. The H5N1 strain the teen has is not the same genotype that's been found in people who were infected by dairy cattle in the U.S., Tam said in an interview. While there have been several outbreaks of bird flu on dairy farms in multiple states, the virus has not been detected on dairy farms anywhere in Canada. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency has been testing raw milk arriving at processing plants in each province for the bird flu virus. It has also been testing pasteurized retail milk samples. Tam said that like wastewater testing for viruses such as COVID-19 and seasonal flu, the milk testing aims to provide an early warning signal if H5N1 has reached dairy farms in Canada. Yes, as long as milk has been pasteurized, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency says in Canada, milk must be pasteurized before sale. The pasteurization process kills harmful bacteria and viruses, including HPA1, highly pathogenic avian influenza, ensuring milk and milk products are safe to drink and eat, the CFIA website says. Yes, as long as they are cooked thoroughly. As of November 13, there were 28 infected poultry locations in British Columbia, 2 in Alberta, and 1 in Saskatchewan, according to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency's website. Shayan Sharif, a pathobiology professor at the Ontario Veterinary College at the University of Guelph, said he believes H5N1 will reach poultry farms in other provinces. I hope to be proven wrong, but I think it's probably going to come eastward in the not too distant future. Farmers are required to notify the CFIA if they suspect their birds or livestock have avian flu. All poultry must be killed on farms that have tested positive for H5N1, said Sharif, but cattle don't have to be killed, he said. The virus can be spread through direct contact with infected animals, but can also spread through contaminated barns and other environments. Biosecurity is one of the most important ways to stop the spread of avian flu between farms, Sharif said. That means workers should wear personal protective equipment and change clothing when they enter and exit a farm where avian flu has been detected. It also means not sharing equipment between farms, as well as washing and disinfecting trucks delivering supplies and feed, he said. Sharif said he supports offering avian flu vaccines to farm workers, a move that Finland has adopted. Health Canada has authorized 3 influenza vaccines that could be used to protect against H5N1 avian flu. Those vaccines are not currently available here, but Tam said public health officials are very interested in learning from Finland and are actively looking into the potential use of H5N1 vaccines as they monitor avian flu activity in Canada.
ਪਿਛਲੇ ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਸਾਡੇ BC ਸੂਬੇ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਵੀਅਨ ਫਲੂ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਇਆ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉਪਰੰਤ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਬੜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਪੱਧਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਛਿੜੀ ਹੋਈ ਆ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਦਾ ਫੈਲਾਅ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵਿਤ ਹੋਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਚਾ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੇ ਪਦਾਰਥਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਅੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਤੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਈ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਪਸ਼ਟ ਰੂਪ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਈਆਂ ਨੇ। एहतियात बरतन के उत्ते वड्डी पद्धर के उत्ते जोर दिता जा रहा है। फिनलैंड दी उदाहरण दिंदे हुए इस गल का भी जिक्र है कि किस प्रकार जिहड़े वर्कर्स ने उन्हां तो लैके जिहड़ी इक्विपमेंट है जिहड़ी आपस विच ही फार्मां दे विच जां शहर दे विच डिलीवरी करदे उन्हां दी धोआ धलाई ते उन्हां नूं डिसइनफैक्ट किवें कीता जा सकदा है। बाकी कैनेडा दे विच जिहड़ा दुੱਧ है उसनूं पहिलां ਪੈਸਟਰਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣ ਆ ਸਕਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਕਿਤਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜਰਮਸ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਇਹ ਅਹਿਤਿਆਤ ਵਰਤਣ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹਦਾਇਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਫਾਰਮ ਵਰਕਰਸ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਹਨ, ਉੱਥੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੀ ਨਾਲ ਆਮ ਜਨਤਾ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਗਰੂਕ ਕਰਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵੀ ਦੱਸੀਆਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ।
Trudeau in Peru for APEC meeting as leaders seek to reinforce multilateralism. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau arrived Thursday in Peru for meetings with leaders of Asia-Pacific countries as they brace for a second Donald Trump presidency. Trade concerns topped the agenda at the two-day leaders round at Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum in Lima. Many of the APEC member countries are heavily reliant on the trade with the United States that Trump has threatened with steep tariffs. On the first day of the summit, Trudeau has a scheduled one-on-one meeting with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto. The two leaders are expected to announce the conclusion of 3 years of negotiations of a Canada-Indonesia trade agreement. Trade between the countries is relatively small, totaling $5.1 billion in 2023, but the new Canada-Indonesia Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreements could further open the market of 279 million people at a time when the future of the global trading system is unclear. According to a statement from the Prime Minister's office, Trudeau and Subianto will work to bring the deal into force as soon as possible. At APEC, Trudeau is expected to face questions about Canada's commitment to regional trade after Ontario Premier Doug Ford suggested Canada should strike a new bilateral free trade agreement with the US without Mexico. Ford said Canada should move away from the 2018 US-Mexico-Canada deal that replaced the NAFTA agreement because of transshipments through Mexico of goods that originated in China, a known irritant to the US and Trump in particular. The USMCA is up for review in 2026. Trudeau is now among the longest serving of APEC's leader and is among the few with direct experience dealing with a Trump White House. After the summit in Lima, Trudeau will fly to Rio de Janeiro for the annual Group of the 20 summit. The meeting in Brazil will be the last G20 summit for outgoing US President Joe Biden, but there are new faces around the leaders' table, including UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, Japan's Shigeru Ishiba, and Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. With Biden now in the lame duck period of his presidency, attention will focus on Chinese leader Xi Jinping. China attempting to expand its clout in South America with its Belt and Road strategy of making large infrastructure investments in the developing world. On Thursday, Xi toured in a multi-billion-dollar port project not far from Lima that is backed by Chinese interests. As Trump threatens global tariffs on imports of foreign-made goods to the U.S. of at least 10%, China sees an opportunity to boost ties to South America. The APEC talks are also exposed to address migration in the hemisphere and concerns about Trump's threat to begin mass deportations of illegal immigrants, many originally from Latin American countries. In Rio, Canada is expected to join the European G20 members in calling for other countries to provide more help to Ukraine to defend itself against Russia's invasion, with future support uncertain once Trump takes office. The G20 could also bring Trudeau face-to-face again with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, with Canada-India relations in a deep freeze. The two spoke briefly on the sidelines of the Group of Seven summit in Italy in June, after Trudeau accused India of involvement in the killing of a Sikh activist in British Columbia in 2023. Since then, Canada has expelled 6 diplomats it believes were involved, and India retaliated by throwing out 6 Canadian diplomats. Trudeau is accompanied to Peru by Foreign Minister Melanie Joly and International Trade Minister Mary Nerg. Trudeau's daughter, Ella Grace, age 15, is also traveling with him.
ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਸਟਿਨ ਟਰੂਡੋ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਗ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ 2 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਇਹ ਸਾਹਿਤ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਭਾ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਭਾਗ ਲੈਣ ਲਈ ਚਲੇ ਗਏ ਨੇ। ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੰਤਰਾਲਾ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਨੇ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ 15 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਟ੍ਰਿਪ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆ। ਪਰ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਮੌਜੂਦਾ ਸਮਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਦੀ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਸੀ ਦੇ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਪ੍ਰਕਾਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਪਾਰਕ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਹਾਲ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਮਜ਼ਬੂਤ ਕਿਵੇਂ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਨ, ਇਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਔਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਉਪਰੰਤ G20 2 ਦਿਨ ਇਹ ਪੀਰੂ ਰਹਿਣ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹ ਰੀਓ ਜਾਣਗੇ G20 ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਹੈ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਜੋ ਬਾਈਡਨ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਦੇ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਅਖੀਰਲੇ ਚਰਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ। ਔਰ ਯਾਦ ਰਹੇ ਰਾਸ਼ਟਰਪਤੀ ਡੋਨਲਡ ਟਰੰਪ ਦੀ ਦੂਸਰੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਜ਼ੀਡੈਂਸੀ ਦੇ ਮੱਦੇਨਜ਼ਰ ਜੋ ਟ੍ਰੇਡ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ, ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਕਸੀਕੋ ਦਾ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋਏਗੀ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹਾਲਾਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿ ਅੰਟਾਰੀਓ ਦੇ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਸਲਾਹ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਕਿ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਾ ਮੈਕਸੀਕੋ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਹੀ ਕੱਢ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਔਰ G20 ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮੁਲਾਕਾਤ ਭਾਰਤ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਧਾਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਨਰਿੰਦਰ ਮੋਦੀ ਹੋਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਹੋਏਗੀ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦੇ ਮੌਸਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਦੋਵਾਂ ਦੇਸ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸਰਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੰਬੰਧ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ।
इसी के साथ हमें दीजिएगा इजाजत। खबरां दा लेखा जोखा प्रोग्राम से until next time, goodbye and be safe.